What's up YouTube? Now today I have this very nice 1916 dated 2-pounder shell, and as you can see it is very small compared to the number 80 fuse which goes on the 18-pounders. This is just a 2-pounder shell and it would go in a brass casing just like this. There's a 2-pounder casing, but this is World War II 2-pounder, so it's not for this, but I do have some 1916 2-pounder casings which I'm going to clean up and get this inside. And as you can tell by the drive band here, this hasn't been fired, still mint condition, and you can see there that it says 2-pounder, then you got FS and then V Limited C, and then you got the date which is 6/1916. And also on the back you've got a lot of other makers marks and the arrow going all the way up, and there's the locking pin for the actual fuse onto the shell. And you can see that this timer ring does spin freely quite nicely. So if I just go ahead and take the top off the fuse, and I'll show you the markings on here. You can see the lot number there and there. I don't know why they're different, it's a bit odd, that is. Then you've got a maker's mark there, and then the date of the fuse, which is I think 5th of 1916, and then that's where the locking pin was. And you can see in there it's all not cleaned up properly yet, but I'll get round to that. And this next ring you can see here is the stationary ring, but this one doesn't have any pins because this has been taken apart before I got to it. So I've had to use just a bit of copper wire to go in there so it stops moving. And you can see the locking pins are in a bit odd areas, they're not in the usual right opposite each other, but it doesn't really make any difference. And you can see they're not cleaned up properly with the powder trail. And then on the timer ring you can see the hole there where it goes into the next powder trail, also not cleaned up. And there's only one marking on this ring which is there, and to me it looks like a and symbol. If I just flip it upside down, it looks like an and symbol there, but I don't know what that means. Could be a maker's mark or something, I don't know. And there, that's where the rest of the powder trail will go down into the shell to set it off. And I haven't been able to get this fuse out of this shell, and I don't particularly want to because I could damage it. But yeah, that's a World War I 2-pounder, and this is my World War II 2-pounder with the base fuse, which would have a type of powder in there which would burn a different colour. So it's a tracer shell, and it would have powder going all the way inside it in a small tube. So that's that, and that's the difference between a World War II and a World War I 2-pounder with a fuse. And that's pretty much it. There isn't a great difference, except for, of course, this one just being solid steel and a tracer, and this one being a high explosive shell. And I would have thought this would be used for anti-air, but in World War I they didn't have a great deal of planes, so I don't know what else this could have been used for. But all in all, it's quite a nice little fuse and shell. And my next video is going to be the second part to the World War I Lee Enfield rifle. So keep a lookout for that, and